Season 3 is awesome! Sorry about that, I got a little carried away there. Season 3 has been live for around a week now, giving us all a chance to see all of the new content in a pirate's life, along with battling the new threats that are lurking in the shadows. Now, was this season better than Anniversary? The biggest update ever to come to the game? Let's talk about it. What's up guys, BlueLycanroc here, and welcome to my official review of Season 3. I will be judging the season based on the quality of the content on a score out of 10. I'll be splitting this video into two parts because this update's so massive. Firstly, to talk about the Tall Tales on their own, and then afterwards we'll get into the rest of the content. Because trust me, there is a lot to talk about. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. First off, let's talk about A Pirate's Life, because this is the main addition to Season 3, and what has been advertised the most. This building here is what we all know now as the Castaway's Hut, has been teased since the beginning of Season 1, and for a very good reason, because it is now the home of all 5 of these new Tall Tales. And wow. I won't be talking about major story spoilers in this video, but I will be showing some gameplay that I've captured from my Twitch streams, so keep that in mind if you don't want to see any of the gameplay. I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible, so there won't be like any big reveals or anything, but just keep that in mind. If I'm being completely honest, this expansion is hands down the best thing that has ever happened to the game. Not only because it's a crossover with one of my favorite movie franchises and my favorite game, and not only because so many elements from the Disney Parks ride are brought over so perfectly, but also because everything is just so smooth and polished compared to everything we've gotten so far in the past. We've gotten some pretty crazy stuff in the past, but The Pirate's Life is on a whole nother level. There are so many new animations that we can see, from the skeleton falling apart when you pick up this broken oar, to literally petting the goodest boy to get the jail keys. It's these little touches that really add to the experience of these Tall Tales, and I genuinely applaud the developers for putting this much love and care into this project. The gameplay, however, relies on more free exploration rather than looking and following through a Tall Tale book. There's only one instance actually where pages are added to the Tall Tale book throughout this entire campaign. So besides giving some backstory, the books are practically useless if you already know most of the Pirates of the Caribbean story. I'll go much more in depth with the gameplay for each individual Tall Tale in my next video, but in general, this is a huge breath of fresh air for Sea of Thieves. From the interesting puzzles, to the fun combat sections, to the absolutely epic naval battles, this is truly on a whole different level from the previous Tall Tales. Along with the main objectives, there are now multiple side quests that you can discover along your adventures. Some of these are quite challenging, and make for a pretty fun time trying to uncover all of the secrets. So if you have a crew, you can basically split up and go on a big secret hunting adventure, which I had a lot of fun with. There are still journals to hunt down as well, if you're more of a lore hunter. And some Tall Tales even have 2 sets of journals, which provide double the lore. And for the first time since, forever, there is no commendation that requires you to complete the Tall Tale a certain number of times. Thank you. To get the ultimate prize from the campaign, however, you have to discover every secret, find every journal, and complete every side quest, which is a very fun challenge to do if I do say so myself. I won't say what the prize is because this is a spoiler-free review, but it is definitely worth it. The Shores of Gold Tall Tales were good and all, and the Flameheart chapters were just as good. but some of them really dragged behind the others and went on for way too long. But with these new tall tales that take us to these uncharted waters in the Sea of the Damned and beyond, I walked out of these wanting more. So I played them again and again and again, eventually completing all the side quests and finding all of the secrets. There's not one tall tale here that feels like a bad tall tale. And if there truly was a commendation to complete it 5 times, I'd happily do it. And that is why A Pirate's Life campaign gets a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. It's got great dialogue, breathtaking visuals, and amazing new locations to explore. If you haven't checked it out yet, or if you don't have Sea of Thieves, please do yourself a favor and check these out. Oh, by the way, if you're still watching and you don't have the game yet, it's actually on sale as a part of the Steam Summer Sale until July 8th. Not sponsored, but figured I'd help you guys out a bit, if you want to get into the world of Sea of Thieves. Now, moving on from the tall tales, we actually got a bit of new content in the main Sea of Thieves world itself. Firstly, there are 3 new types of AI threats that we can encounter randomly on different islands: ocean crawlers, phantoms, and sirens. These threats are all first seen in the campaign, but while you're on your regular voyage, they may just spring up on you and attack you. You can find ocean crawlers and phantoms on land, just like skeletons, but to fight sirens, you must be in the water, so we'll start out with them. While swimming, listen out for the eerie siren song, signaling that a wave of them is about to attack you. And once you defeat the wave, watch out because there might be another wave. I've been swimming around sometimes and had to fight up to 3 waves of these guys, so make sure you have your gun fully loaded. There are 2 types of sirens. There are the blue regular sirens, and then there are the green siren leaders. These have more armor, and they carry the brand new Trident of Dark Tides, which we'll talk about in a minute. These vicious mermaids have a wide arsenal of attacks, from a basic scratch to a deadly siren song, and a healing ability, which if you get too close while they're healing, it actually damages you. And once defeated, they have a chance to drop their new Siren Gems, which you can sell for gold just like Mermaid Gems. They also have a chance to drop the brand new Trident of Dark Tides, the first new weapon in Sea of Thieves since... Okay, well, the Ashen Windskull exists, but I count that more as a loot item. This is the first new weapon since the game's launch. And seriously, this thing is amazing. This weapon is wielded by the Siren Leaders and can literally wipe out an entire wave of skeletons at a skull fort if it's fully charged. There are 3 different charge levels. The first one is a rapid fire that can shoot pretty fast, but does just a little bit of damage. The second one moves a bit slower and does more of a splash damage. And the third level of charge uses the most energy, but also does an insane amount of damage, while also doing the same splash damage from the second one. The only caveat is, the third level projectile moves pretty slow. The Trident works similar to the Ashen Windskull, in that it has a set amount of ammo that it carries, but unlike that one, it can't be sold. Rather, once the Trident loses its energy, it literally disintegrates in your hands. So when you notice the color fading to a gray, you might want to get ready to swap to your sword, or else it may take you by surprise. Ocean crawlers are a brand new type of enemy, and one that I talked about before in my gameplay trailer analysis video. But now, once I fought them firsthand, every single one of them feels truly unique. Starting off with the crab type one, it has a poisonous attack if you get too close, and can literally burrow underground and sneak up on you. The second one is the electric one, which can stun you with electricity if you get too close. but it can also shoot electric projectiles at you from a distance if you get a little too far away. And then the giant crab, which has a heavy slam attack, and has a lot more health than the others, trust me. And finally, phantoms. Phantoms are the souls of lost pirates, and they have a few tricks up their sleeves. They're relatively easy to defeat, and are pretty simple compared to ocean crawlers, but they do have a sneaky teleport ability, which, if left ignored, could catch you off guard. They hold multiple weapons and can switch between them, but they do have the same amount of health as an enemy player, so keep that in mind when you're using your sword. Moving on from the amazing new enemies, the Season Pass in Season 3 brings 100 new rewards for all players to enjoy. The new cosmetics are fine, I guess, but there's nothing to get really excited about. They're just kinda there. In my opinion, the coolest reward is the Ferry of the Damned figurehead, which is only available to Pirate Legends. Speaking of that, there's only 2 Pirate Legend rewards, which is kinda underwhelming. But hey, since all this is free, I will gladly take that over having to pay for everything. But since this is a review video, I have to be kinda critical. For the first time ever, the Premium Plunder Pass actually includes 11 all-new rewards that have never been seen before. So if you're holding on to your 999 ancient coins for the best Plunder Pass for your money, this is the season to get it. There's a new costume, weapons, and new ship parts that have never been seen before, which is truly a great improvement and is something I like to see going forward, because in Season 1, there were some rewards that I already had, which made the purchase seem a little like a waste of ancient coins. So this is a huge improvement from previous seasons. Now, speaking of ancient coins, the Pirate Emporium now features a ton of new cosmetics from Pirates of the Caribbean, and as much as I don't like microtransactions, I will make an exception this time, because this stuff is awesome! We have a ship set literally based on the Black Pearl, which is honestly one of the best things they've ever done. There's also new cosmetics, emotes, the heckin' jail dog, and some new weapons. I'll definitely buy some of these, because if this means there will be more Pirates of the Caribbean content in Sea of Thieves, I'm all in for it. In total, however, I would like to give the content outside of the Tall Tales an 8 out of 10. The new enemies are really cool, and they spice up the PvE side of the game, but honestly, that's really about it, besides the new Tall Tales. The Season Pass is fine, but the Plunder Pass is really where the best rewards are this season. I am kind of disappointed that there is no new commendations to unlock in the main world regarding sirens or ocean crawlers, any of those new enemies. But all in all, A Pirate's Life is truly the best update to ever come to the game. And it was pretty hard to find some negative things to talk about, because it is just that good. And while Anniversary will be seen as one of the best updates in the game's history, I truly believe we have a new champion for the best update that has ever come to Sea of Thieves. If you guys like this review and you want to see more of these in the future, please let me know by liking the video and subscribing if you're new. I have some really good video ideas coming, so stay tuned, and make sure you have the notifications on so you don't miss them. And as always, until next time, I will see you out on the seas.